4, 3, 2, 1.
Cue music.
Easy as 1, 2, 3.
Just let your soul go!
Welcome to Be Kind, Let's Rewind, the nostalgia podcast no one asked for, with your hosts, Chris, Leaf, and Shadwick.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Be Kind, Let's Rewind. This week we are talking about Mike Tyson early years and the 80s, baby. So, how's everything going, guys? Shadwick, I guess you got some not so great news this week?
Yeah, man. I've talked a couple times about having some shoulder issues and
a massive pill addiction.
Not yet. They're trying to get me to it. But now I went ahead and had an MRI, and I've got complete what do they call it, full thickness tear in the rotator cuff. So that sucks. That sucks, but also. Combined with that, I've got degenerative disc disease. So I've got, they called it severe narrowing on the right side in C5, 6, and 6, 7. So, yeah, it's not great. It's in the spine.
I broke my back.
What do you mean by that?
My back is broken.
What, a vertebrae or what portion?
Spinal.
Just say it.
my back's broken.
Whereabouts is your back broken?
It's spinal.
Coming in real hot. So,
I want you guys to know, Tyson, I know you're going to watch this. We love you to death. I'm not making fun of you. It just, that just kind of fell in our laps.
Yeah, that line is stuck in our head for some reason. So, anyway, this episode is more or less going to be more of our love letter to Mike Tyson, especially in the 80s. But, Leaf, how's the week been treating you, man? You also had some bad news going on, right?
I did? Hold on, what happened?
Marijuana affects the memory.
Your freezer.
Oh, yeah,
broke.
dude.
Jesus
My
Christ.
freaking freezer, dude. We lost like 25, 30% of everything in the freezer. Man, that sucked. So we got a lot of eating to do. We be eating good, man. Like this week is all I'm trying to say. Yeah, nice. It's just, they didn't even last a year, but like when the cold snap hit up here or down here, we had a lot of brownouts. Like once it dropped in the teens, like our power would go out, like no joke, like every 5 to 10 minutes. Like it would shut off, on and off. And I think that might have fricasseed the compressor. Yeah.
Leaf, maybe if you moved down into God's country and got out of fucking Tennessee.
It's true. You wouldn't have to worry about that. I did want to say one thing, man. Like I was driving to work this week. You know how we talk a lot about like people. It's different now. Like when we were kids, running, playing outside, and all that stuff. I was driving to work, man, and there's like 4 kids playing outside. They run across the road like right before I get to them. I mean, I wasn't in danger, and there was like the fat kid, like trailing up Garputo. And I remember thinking, like, I was like, damn, like I wonder if those kids know that like that fat kid's gonna marry Rebecca Romaine Stamos one day and then fuck everything up. So I was just like, it's good to see him playing outside, man. It's good to see some kids out there,
Actually outside in the open air.
And good to know that the fat kids still exist and always bring up the rear. So sometimes things change, but they don't change. You know what I'm saying?
Nature's healing, man. Nature is indeed healing.
I agree with that. Is about. All right, man. Let's go ahead and kick it over to our It's still funny every time. All right, so
when those kids were in the street, Chris was like, "Get on the street, you fucking bums!"
I was yelling at him. I was like, "Run faster, fat kid!" So this week, I'm actually finishing up the Knob Creek maple bourbon.
Delicious.
So I'm actually off tomorrow, so that's why. Otherwise, this would be a much lighter night. But said, fuck it, man. Doing some Tyson. Gonna have me some bourbon and talk about some good old days, man. So, Shadows, what are you working with, man?
Well, since we're doing Tyson tonight, I'm doing a little malt. You see this?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Get us some gun, baby.
Actually picked this up at Chris's house the other night.
Sweet.
What's it right now?
Let's see.
I think they had like a little impromptu review. I think I've had some Guinness and Gun before. I don't think it was that one though.
Not bad.
And he hates.
You know what? It tastes like a headache.
Welcome to the bigs. So, all right, Leaf, what do you got down there, man?
I am kicking it off, dude, man, with a little delicious Moscow Mule here, baby.
Dude.
Kicks like a Moscow Mule, and Mike Tyson evidently hits like one. Says anyone who has ever survived any rounds in the ring with
which
that,
I'll reference
that
several times
monster.
do this, and I'll get a picture of it, but my goal always when I drink is to be Trevor Burbick drunk.
He was on another planet, and Chris will see him soon.
I'll see him soon. But all right, man. So let's go ahead and just get over into our theme, man, which is Mr. Iron Mike Tyson. Which in this era, we're actually going to be, I believe, we start off as Kid Dynamite because that picture actually, I picked that one for a reason. Two reasons. One,
because his cock is right behind Leaf's head.
Because it's a theme going.
Why do y'all always do this to me, dude? Why is the dude's crotches like right behind me every single time?
Well,
man?
maybe you need to ask yourself why you're sitting there, you know? But
damn it.
So we need to find the clip where he's on Joe Rogan. He's talking about what does it mean when you get hard when you're thinking about hurting somebody?
What does it mean when fighting gets you erect? What does that mean?
Yeah, yeah. So if Leaf gets kicked off, we know exactly what happened. But this was actually after he knocked Trevor Burbick down. And it's my background on my work computer. So just so in case anybody needs to know the fucking score.
Do you think in that moment right there, do you think he knew? Like as Trevor Burbick was falling?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, dude, because he had already knocked him down once.
Yeah. Yeah. Like so that man right there is realizing it.
Realizing that he's about to be a 19-year-old heavyweight champion of the fucking world. Or he's 20, I think, right?
Yeah, he's 20. Yeah,
he's like 20 in like 100 days or 200 days or something. Like, so 20 years old. Hate to tell you what I was doing when I was 20, but it involved a bottle of lotion and whatever I could find on AOL.com.
This was in '86, right? When he won the championship.
Yeah.
And he had only been a professional fighter for a year and a half. He started in '85.
Right.
But
he was fighting like 3 times a month.
I was going to say, did you see how many times he fought in '85?
Yeah, man. Like,
dude,
it's crazy. Like,
it's disgusting how many fights. Like, everyone is so careful now. Like, even in the UFC too. Like, for damaging your legacy and taking stupid risks and stuff. Like in the 80s, and I suppose previously, it was just like people were stepping up to the plate.
Well, I think too, because we'll get into it, like when he was born and kind of his childhood, but this was more or less him fulfilling the prophecy of Cus D'Amato, who ended up adopting him and was basically a father figure to him, getting him out of jail and all that stuff. So, Leaf, do you got some boring ass facts you can rail off for us early on?
I got them stacked up for you today. I'll run through them quickly for Shadwick's sake.
Please,
I know his attention span is
don't get sidetracked.
He's doing his trick.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Mike Tyson, born Michael Gerard Tyson in Brooklyn, New York, June the 30th, 1966, currently 57 years old. Aliases, Kid Dynamite, Iron Mike Tyson, and the baddest man on the planet. Wikipedia.
I believe it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
absolutely.
right? Fathered, I didn't know this, fathered 7 children.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know he had 7 kids, all right? Yep. Stands 5 feet, 10 inches, and fought in the heavyweight category his entire professional career. Before that, though, he did win 3 gold medals as a junior boxer 2 in the National Junior Olympics, and 1 as a Golden Glove.
Yeah.
And his total professional career, of course, stands at 58 total bouts with 50 wins, 6 losses, and 2 no contests. So that is his stats.
Just because, there's a lot of source material that's going to be coming out for this episode that is basically shit that all 3 of us have watched, documentaries. I've listened to Custom Auto audiobook. I've listened to another audiobook on Tyson. So, like, I don't know where all this shit's going to come from or where this episode's going to go today, but, like, this, just with a grain of salt, this is all coming off the top of our head. We've done as much research as we can. But, as always, like, subscribe, call us out in the comments, man. If we got something wrong or you want to add something, throw it on in there. But
please, a correction even, dude. We don't get mad. Like, if we say it wrong, dude, fix this.
So, I want to just start off hot out of the box talking about what a fucking joke Olympic boxing is.
And Chris uses this
out of the fucking gate. You tell Mike Tyson is not a gold medal winner in the actual Olympics. Evander Holyfield isn't a gold medal winner in the Olympics. The Olympics, you are fucking wrong, and you're doing it wrong. When these guys are super fucking stars after they leave this bullshit.
Yeah, I don't. So he did win in the Junior Olympics, as I stated. But what do you? So you're talking about like the adult?
I think he was like an alternate. Yeah, I think he was like an alternate. I don't even think he was like on the team or some shit like that. Like it was something weird.
So how is that shit like even?
And
decided?
if he was, it was one of those where he lost in a decision or something. I'm fucking sorry. Like
I'm pretty sure he lost in a decision, and then one time, so I think he was up for it twice. I think he lost one in a decision, and then he didn't get to fight in the
so he was the alternate or whatever. Because I mean, Evander Holyfield got robbed. He knocked a dude fucking out, and then the ref said he hit him late, and the whatever. Dude, Olympic boxing, fuck you. Like,
but Tyson got to take his revenge on the guy that did get to fight in the Olympics.
Well, there you go.
Can't remember his name.
But doesn't matter.
Nobody can.
Evidently,
and there's a reason, and that fulfills that's the exclamation point on what I'm saying is
because he's just a yet another body that fell to Tyson's assaults.
So guys, I wanted to have something here that I ordered. It didn't make it, so I'm just going to throw it up in the camera here. If you guys can see this.
Yeah,
Tyson. What is it? An app?
No, I ordered his Mike Bites.
Oh, sweet!
It's the Delta 8 watermelon that's.
So he has tasty treats.
It's shaped like an ear.
Yeah, like the Evander Holyfield ear. Yeah, I saw their commercial for that. We'll clip that in right now.
You go first. You go first. No, you go first. Right? You go first. Okay, I'll go first. No, I go. You sure? You mean? Here you go.
That is fucking fantastic, though. Like,
delicious,
dude. He's doing great in life right now. We won't talk about past basically 1990 today, but I do want to say he's doing great with like the weed stuff. We got to see him when he fought Roy Jones Jr.
We watched it, live.
We all got together and watched that in 2020, and just like the joy on his face was fucking amazing. Like it was. He was just having the time of his life, man.
He's a warrior, and for sure.
And for those of you that didn't see that fight or didn't really pay attention to it, he was holding back. Like there were so many times that he could have dropped Roy Jones Jr.
Dude, bad. They called it a split decision or whatever, but
no, they called it a draw.
Yeah, that's right, a draw. That's what it was, and I was like,
that was kind.
Shit.
That was kind.
Shit,
dude. Roy Jones Jr. looked.
He was scared.
He looked terrified.
He
dude.
stared and saw God. So I do have some early on facts. I guess Tyson grew up in from a less than ideal situation growing up. Had I guess dad wasn't around. I guess mom had a little bit of a drinking issue. What I do have here is from all the documentaries and stuff I see, that's all pretty consistent across the board. The first fight that he ever got in, he was 9 years old, and he was, if you don't know, Mike Tyson's a big fan of pigeons.
Yep.
Collecting pigeons, carrier pigeons, whatever, just been doing it his whole life. Even Norm, our good friend Norm, makes an appearance on Mike Tyson's mystery show as a pigeon.
As a pigeon, yeah.
But so this guy that was an older kid took Tyson's pigeon, and Tyson said, give it back. And the dude just broke the fucking pigeon's neck. And then Tyson just fucking snapped. And I wonder if that dude knew then what he just awoke when he did that. Like when this kid just beats the fucking shit out of him.
I don't know. And
I don't know.
And that kid was older too.
Yes, he was older than him. Tyson just knocked him out. And then I guess like they started bringing kids into town like to fight Tyson. He started getting this reputation. But, he was in a bad part of town. He was having to steal to live, and they were on welfare. He said off welfare. If he goes to jail, which is actually where he ends up starting his boxing career.
Right. He was arrested, evidently, according to my notes, he was arrested 38 times as a juvenile by the time he reached the age of 13 years old.
Yeah.
Like, thug.
He talks about he was associated with a gang, and something was going down like with one of the other gangs one day. So him and his boys went in someone's house and stole a bunch of guns. They're walking down the road, and one of the guns was like an old rifle with a bayonet on the end of it. And they weren't even trying to hide it. They would just like take turns, like who was carrying it, like just walking down the street,
like a Civil War reenactor. Like, why do they have that?
And so they get to, I think it was a park or something where these other people were, and all these people like started like splitting, like the Red Sea. And then he hears somebody over to the side. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" And he turns around, and it's his older brother, which was also in that gang. And then the twist of the story was, I was 9 years old.
Yeah, man. Like, it's fucking wild. Because like they're not going to school. They're not like. So he goes to prison where I guess there was an ex-professional boxer named Bobby Stewart that was prison guard there, and he, I guess Tyson, all the guys would go in there, they would do their time, they'd get out, and they'd go, I think Tyson's friend in one of the documentaries I watched basically was like, you'd go to jail for like a week, you'd get out, your parents would beat the shit out of you because you were in jail, you'd go fuck up again, then go back to jail, and it was just a cycle. And he heard that Bobby Stewart would teach, was an ex-pro boxer, and he wanted to learn how to fight. Yeah, and he kept begging him.
He said that
legitimately.
He said that he would be working or whatever, and he would see all these other guys that were going with what'd you say,
Bobby Stewart?
Bobby Stewart.
Yeah.
Not Jimmy. Not Jimmy Stewart.
I think she's flooded.
Tyson, you little bitch. Yeah, you like it, don't you?
Oh, I'm knock you out.
Mr. Potter.
Oh, please, sir, not my good ear.
No one fucking knows who Jimmy Stewart is.
Nobody. No one. This is a nostalgia podcast. You better at least know Jimmy Stewart from It's a Wonderful Life. He has an insanely crazy good career as an actor.
So Tyson, he sees all these kids go with Bobby Stewart, and when they come back, they're all bleeding and beaten up and bruised or whatever, but they're all smiling. They had a good time getting their asses beat, whatever. So he asked, can I be part of this? And the guy comes, I think, to his room that night, and he's basically tells him he's got to be good.
Yeah,
he won't take him on immediately. He's got to show that he's good, whatever. So he stays on his best behavior, does all of his schoolwork, I guess this was kind of like a school for bad kids, also.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was
Yeah, it's
like
like-
a
In
juvenile
my notes, it's
detention
a
center or
yeah,
something.
yeah, and Bobby Stewart was one of the counselors there. So
Yeah.
he was in kids' prison.
So he was like the Rock and Gridiron Gang.
Basically, yes.
Yes.
But he was turning out killers.
Yeah, that's. I mean, at least one for sure. So
At least one, dude.
they said. I guess Bobby said, he got him in there. Tyson, he was just like basically trying to hit me. Tyson, swung and missed because Bobby Stewart used to be a professional fucking fighter, so
Yeah.
it kind of made him look stupid. But he said he just kept asking questions and kept trying to get better.
He said that first time Bobby hit him in the stomach and he threw up.
Yeah.
He's like, I didn't know anything. Like,
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Like, so that's what this guy was doing, though. Actually, as a counselor, he's just beating the fuck out of juveniles legally in a boxing ring.
so he was what? He was 12 or 13 at that time.
12, yeah, around 12 or 13.
He was 13 when Bobby Stewart finally got a hold of Customato and was like, "Hey, like we got something here." And so Cuss went down there, and the story goes, first off, Cuss didn't believe he was 13, which if you've seen any footage of him when he was like in the Junior Olympics and he's like 15, he looks like a fucking grown man. Hell,
Well, look at the behind us.
Like he's
Yeah.
20 years old. Like
He's 20. He looks like a 38-year-old grown-ass man,
I know,
dude. Like,
man.
that's insane.
It's so Customato didn't believe him, needed to see the whole birth certificate thing. And so he, but I guess Bobby Stewart, they went 2 rounds, and basically Tyson is starting getting good at this point, and it was basically all Bobby could do to keep Tyson off of him. And they said, okay, that's it, 2 rounds. And then Tyson was like, no, we got to go 3. Mr. Stewart says we always have to go 3. And wanted to do another round or whatever. And
Yeah.
the story goes that Cuss, Stewart's like, hey, what do you think, man? And Cuss was like, that guy, barring distractions, will be the youngest heavyweight champion of all time.
Yep.
And he fucking called his shot in that juvenile detention center there. It's pretty fucking wild.
When he saw him, what an eye as a trainer. Are we allowed to just fucking completely derail for just a minute?
Yeah.
Or probably 20 minutes and talk about Cuss?
Dude,
Because
yeah.
I feel like it's so important. Because I have some notes and shit on him. I know all y'all do too. Because it's like integral to to his victory, obviously, against Trevor Berbick to become like the youngest heavyweight champion of all time, but also just his success in general, right?
Well, yeah, and I mean,
Like-
I think Chadwick, you even made the comparison.
You got some-
But if you I read there's a book I think Tyson was affiliated with that was on Customato's life. It's an audio book I listened to a long, long time ago. But he, Cuss really is like Mickey and Rocky. I mean, and I believe that was the inspiration, correct? Or
Well, no, I mean, you think about it. Like Rocky was out in the 70s,
right?
but-
And Cuss did the same thing with Floyd Patterson.
So yeah, so if you watch Rocky 5, though, Stallone says that there was no intention of it, but look at the similarities. For one, there's the speech that Mickey gives him in the flashback. where
Right.
He's talking about he gives him motivation to live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I sent you guys that clip. It's like a side by side.
Yeah.
It's almost word for word.
Yeah.
But also think about. I know it was a pretty shitty movie, but
Yes.
But Rocky takes on Tommy Gunn, which was Tommy Morrison, a real fighter. He's trying to turn Tommy into a good, responsible man. He's trying to guide him through the ins and outs of the boxing world. And along comes this. What was his name in the movie? The Don King character.
Oh yeah. Ugh.
Whatever. But
Come on, pug. Touch me and I'll sue.
just like Tyson, this yuck motherfucker comes in and turns his head and just pollutes his whole way of thinking. And
Absolutely. Because I mean, even to this day, if Tyson talks about Customato, you can see him start to break, because that man meant so much to him. Like he took a chance on him.
Yeah, that
when
was his
nobody else
de facto, legitimately his de facto father, but emotionally, figuratively,
legally
every way
adopted him.
possible. Real quick, I mean, so for those who don't know anything about Mike Tyson, a lot of the credit to his success can be given to his trainer, a man born Constantine, a.k.a. Cuss Diamato, born on January 17th, 1908 to an Italian immigrant family.
January 17th?
Yeah, January 17th.
I got the same birthday as Cuss. I didn't know
Yes,
that.
you do. Yes, you do.
Wild.
1908, dude. I was going to mention that. Cuss, like Mike Tyson, also had a tough home life, growing up with an abusive father, but held no grudge against him, stating that in an interview that the beatings made him a better and more disciplined man.
Yeah.
So kind of a hard ass, right? Like this guy was like, yeah, the guy, he beat me, but it made me a better person. Like
it's like this one son of a bitch he put a tack in his glove.
Yeah.
Punched holes in my face.
And so Cuss himself had a brief amateur boxing career, but was unable to get a professional license because of an eye injury he sustained in a street fight. And of course, he later went on to train boxing greats like Floyd Patterson, Jose Torres, and of course, Iron Mike Tyson, all of whom would be inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame. At age 22, Diamato opened the Empire Sporting Club. He lived in that gym for years.
Yeah.
According to Cuss, he spent his time at that gym waiting for a champion, but his best fighters were routinely poached by connected managers. And I think that's an important fact to learn. Like Cuss,
and there's another story with that gym that you're talking about in his book.
Okay.
Because of guys coming and poaching his fighters, because that shit was a little seedy back then. He was terrified every night that somebody was going to break into that room and fucking kill him.
Yeah.
All the time. Like, he was paranoid. They talked about it in that book or whatever. Like, sleeping in that
insane.
gym.
And as he got older, he got like more and more paranoid.
Right.
Like, Tyson talked about how he would like army crawl from the couch to turn the lights out or whatever.
Yeah, he was afraid somebody's going to
afraid of being innocent. And I think that is a really important point to remember going forward, because when he eventually did adopt Tyson, obviously later on in his life, part of that reason was to protect him from a lot of the sharks and to teach him that the game was dirty. The boxing game itself was really dirty, and he learned himself. Like, I mean, the man was, like you said, he was paranoid. I didn't know that, but he was paranoid, like fearing for his life. And it was all, I mean, he learned that the game was filthy, and he himself is, for by all accounts, seemed to sort of be a shiny, bright diamond, in a sea of rough, as an actual good man.
Because the same thing happened with Floyd, I do believe. I believe Floyd left him after he got the heavyweight title. And I think that he was really paranoid that Tyson was going to do the same. Just because of the life the dude lived,
So Tyson talks about him, fondly, but he also talks about how tough he was on him. Like, like when he would go out and win a fight, he'd be excited to come back, and Cuss would tell him what he did wrong in the fight.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he was training him to be a perfectionist, and that's what he got.
That's what he
Lennox
said too.
Lewis actually tells a story that he actually trained with Tyson in the same gym, and I don't know how this is true, like how true this is, obviously, but Lennox Lewis, when he was obviously a real young man, trained at the same gym as Tyson, and they were kind of sparring, him and Tyson, just like when they were kids, like years before, and I can't remember the mistake specifically or how Lennox told it. We can find the clip at some point in time, maybe. But he basically said that Tyson made some errors, was too aggressive, wasn't thinking, and was getting angry. And he said that he could hear Cuss yelling at him when he went to his corner. He was like, "Damn it, Mike, you're gonna end up facing this guy." He was like, "You can't fucking do that. You can't lose your head versus this man." And we, of course, know that he later on, like Lennox Lewis, did go on to defeat him. But I thought that was a really poignant thing, not necessarily about Lennox Lewis, but about how Cuss was like, he was no nonsense and a hard ass himself.
I wish things had played out differently and Cuss had been in his life farther on, into his career, because I think that Lennox Lewis fight would have turned out completely different.
I agree. And I think, too, we do need to preface this about our Tyson episode. This is what's kind of rare for us, doing these. Normally, it's like a movie. Hey, we all got into Tyson later on in our lives because, to be honest, what we're covering right now, dude, we were like 5, 6, 7, 8 years old.
Yeah,
like,
right.
I didn't have HBO. Shadwick didn't either because of
Shaddy, no.
So,
No. We definitely had HBO.
You guys did?
Yeah. So
You rich ass dude. Nice, bro.
So I gotta say, one of my favorite memories growing up is me and my dad watching boxing.
that's cool.
Like,
Awesome.
But you
there
actually got
was,
to box too, man. You actually went to like
Yeah,
for a little bit, right? Like,
Yeah, a
that's,
little later, but yeah, when I was a kid, I remember watching Tyson when he was still on ESPN.
Kid Dynamite.
Yep. We watched like Oscar De La Hoya, Hector Macho Camacho.
Yeah, man.
Dude, man.
Let's see.
That was so awesome.
Sugar Ray Leonard. Like,
See, like, it was an event. Every Tyson fight became an event. Like, because he was doing shit like no one had ever seen before. And of course, like, we're always, look in basketball, like, when LeBron came out, everybody wanted LeBron to be like the next Michael Jordan, which, by the way, he's fucking not. Get over it. But they all...
We're not even going to discuss it.
We're not going to
And
discuss
we just
it 'cause
lost
there's
50
no,
subscribers.
Yeah, there's no argument.
Well,
Anyway,
fuck
But true. Truth hurts.
but for real, like, so we're always looking for, like, oh, this kid, we always want to build people up and then watch them fucking crumble because we're a shitty fucking society.
I didn't, man.
I didn't either.
I felt it when he lost to Buster Douglas.
Yeah. But
Which-
so, like, that's...
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, but going back and watching this, though, is like, we all were getting together as adults to when we could really... we got a couple DVD sets, a couple documentaries, and I remember me and Shadwick watching these, and we're just, Leaf too, like, we're just in fucking awe of this guy. Like,
Dude.
never seen anything like this before. Even since. Like, there's no one that
Those
touches
early-
this power and precision and speed.
Those early fights we're talking about in '85 when he was in pursuit of the belt, there were, I don't know how many he actually won from knockouts from body shots.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I was watching some of those highlights yesterday, and I was just like, God damn, man, he's hitting people in the body, and they're just like crumpling and
dude.
not getting back up.
Dude, yeah. And it was insane. Like, we had never seen anything, and we still haven't seen anything like it since, man. That's why he's still a polarizing figure and still doing as good as he does. But it's this kind of his story, which we're not going to get way into the bad stuff or whatever, like after Buster Douglas. But it is the whole story of, like, what we do is like TMZ bullshit and all that stuff, where these people are just these sharks and snakes of news media are just waiting for you to fall so they can have a story on it. They build you up and you're their favorite thing, and then as soon as they can catch something on you, they're like, hell yeah, let's grab them on the back end.
Exactly. It's impossible to say that Mike Tyson wasn't influenced by multiple outside sources.
Yeah.
Later on in his career that contributed to what happened as he went forward. As a fighter, like, there was a lot of shit that went down.
But early on, he was also influenced by a lot of past boxers.
Yes,
because Cuss had a library in the basement. So where he actually, when he moves in with Cuss D'Amato, it's in Catskill, New York, which I'll put some links and stuff down here. Tyson has his own site now where you can get some cool shirts. I got a couple of them. Support that man.
Ear-shaped treats.
Yeah, ear-shaped treats. Like, so anything you do, we fucking love Mike Tyson on the show. So, but Cuss, he had this extensive library. Also, Cuss, what I found out in a couple of the books, he was friends with Ali. He was friends with these other guys. So Ali would call Cuss after fights sometimes. And then Tyson, in turn, could talk to Ali. Can you imagine, like, you're 13, 14 years old, and then you're fucking on the phone with Muhammad Ali?
Muhammad Ali, dude.
And if you guys, if you remember, it was Larry Holmes, right? That he was the last one that beat Ali.
Yeah.
Yes. The whole country fucking hated him for it.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yes.
I mean, kind of beat up an old man.
Yeah, and there was there's another 30 for 30 on that. There were some questionable circumstances and things done in Ali's training camp that probably shouldn't have. The fight shouldn't have happened. Is basically what it is. But
So Tyson at that early age, 13, 14, 15, he gets to meet Ali, and he tells him like, when I get older, I'm gonna get him for you.
Yep. And we'll cover that as we get later on because I have a nice clip of that one. But
that is coming soon.
So here's one thing that I didn't know. So as Tyson is living with Cuss and he's training. I didn't even know these existed, but it's basically like the shit in Rocky. They're called smoker fights.
Yeah.
And they're called smoker fights because dudes are just smoking cigarettes, betting on people fighting. He would lie about his age to get into these smoker fights, and they just fucking wax dudes that were probably like twice his fucking age. Like,
and there again, it's just like the opening scene of the first Rocky movie.
Yep.
Where it's
Spider Rico.
Yeah.
Spider Rico. What an awesome name, though.
He's a bum.
Yeah. So I think too, like with him doing that, and one of Tyson's book that I'll put a clip in here what actually that Customato book is called. Because it kind of intertwines the Tyson and Cuss story. But Tyson, again, this is the baddest motherfucker on the planet. Almost ran away from his first fight, professional fight or whatever. Like, he was, it was one of these, like, exhibitions they were doing or whatever. And he went, and he said he was thinking about running back and jumping on a train and getting out of there. And he didn't want to do it. And there's some clips and some documentaries I saw before the Junior Olympics where he was like, actually like crying and shit because like he's he was scared, I guess. Like it was just a whole new world, and I think also he didn't want to let Cuss down,
right. It was a lot of pressure, if you can imagine. Like, it was an insane amount of pressure, and I don't think he was. I mean, Mike came from the streets, it's a different story when you're fighting Tommy Gunn in the alley rather than when you have all those people watching you and they're watching your form and your style and your thinking. And speaking of that, one of the last things I want to say about Cuss is that he obviously taught Mike Tyson his unique fighting style, right? Which is commonly referred to as peekaboo boxing style. Right? Like,
which had gotten to be unpopular at the time.
Well, because if you don't do it right, you're, if people that aren't familiar, you have your regular stance and you have southpaw stance. But Tyson he would square completely up, which basically you're facing the guy. So you're full on exposed. Like they've got a full on shot range, but he's 5'10", fighting these giant heavyweights, so he's got to get in.
And something that always amazed me was his elusiveness. To be
so fucking quick.
Yeah. He would drop so fast. It looked like he had suction cups on the bottom of his shoes or something.
Dude,
like, he would. I mean, I think it is the Trevor Burbick fight where he misses him like 4 times. He's just like bobbing and weaving, and then pow.
Well, and it's always I was watching a lot of those knockouts. It almost, and this is all like because we're not professional boxers, and somebody that's a professional boxer can break all this down. But everything he's doing is setting up what's going to happen later on.
Right.
Like, this is not by mistake. He's not going in there wild swinging
I can tell you,
shit.
Yeah, he had that vicious combination of it was body with the right, uppercut with the right, left hook.
Left hook, and when that left hook caught you, baby, kiss it goodnight. Like,
so I did a lot of research, like actually on the style, and it's considered it's considered a counterpunching style. Okay. And it's kind of derided by a lot of, it's criticized by a lot because it's believed that counterpunching styles aren't efficient. You can't launch efficient attacks from counterpunching style. But Customato, don't laugh, because obviously Mike Tyson was a unique exception to this.
Sure.
But Customato actually didn't call it peekaboo, but probably because that's a stupid fucking name.
It is a stupid name.
He called it tight defense. And so typically the idea is this, and you'll see this in a lot of clips that Chris throws in here. What it is you lock your arms basically on your torso, right? And you put your gloves next to your cheek, loose-handed, right? You don't ever want to like hold your fist extremely like tight, because when you're getting hit, right, like you don't want to be punching and hurting yourself.
Right.
But it's loose here, and you're kind of just peeking over your gloves, right? And instead of backing up like most counter punching techniques, you drive forward. And tight and small. And what you're doing is you're actually forcing your opponent to throw wild punches, trying to find an opening
Right.
And then when you do, then you slip and counter punch.
Yep.
So that's what Mike Tyson does. He drives forward with his style, and he's 5'10", like Chris said. So a lot of heavyweight fighters are looking down on him. And can you imagine how difficult that is to hit a small target? And not only is he small, but he is like hemmed up, and it's so hard
and
to hit him.
It's like Shadwick, to Shadwick's point, he can drop even further. So now now you got 12 inches lower that you just whiffed on, and you're full extended, exposed, and then good night.
And not only would he drop down, but both of his feet would completely move to the side.
Yeah,
like he would change complete direction while he was dropping down.
Yes,
and then he's got you sideways and fucking melee.
Yeah,
like
it's beautiful. It's a beautiful.
So the way people try to defend that style is by clinching. But who wants to clinch with that motherfucker?
I mean,
you know,
like even and also too, like what you got to think is the intelligence of Tyson and the training, because like this is happening in real fucking time. These are heavy. These aren't chumps he's fighting. These are heavyweight fucking fighters. These are heavyweight champions, and they're throwing their best at him, and he's making them look like they're punching air.
Yeah,
like they're just not even close. It's crazy to me that he was 19, 20, 21.
Right.
You're talking about his intelligence. We already mentioned like all the films that he would watch, but he spent hours and hours and hours watching all of these old fighters.
Yep.
And I think he said Jack Dempsey was his favorite.
Yeah.
Roberto Duran.
Okay.
He liked Jack Dempsey, but he liked Roberto Duran's attitude, because he said he didn't want to be the hero of the story. He wanted to be the villain because the villain's always remembered. So he liked Roberto Duran's attitude, where he would just tell people "fuck you" or whatever. Like, and he played it.
Yeah, I mean,
and the combinations that he ran too, Custom Auto called it bad intentions. So the idea of the style was to use swift neck movements, right? Like you would see him like doing that, and it's just baiting. All he was doing is baiting punches. And as soon as he did, like Shadwick talked about, he would duck and then like counter punch, and that's his strategy.
That duck uppercut.
Gross.
He would dudes would be covered up. And he would punch through their fucking cover up with his uppercut.
Yes.
He would split their fucking arms because he could hit so hard. Again, these are 250, 300 pounds fucking monsters.
Split their fucking wig.
Did.
Yeah, they were calling rising uppercuts and rising hooks. So when he dropped down, he would use his stance. And Tyson was, obviously this is a strategy, like anybody could use it, but Tyson was unique in that he could generate more power than anyone ever seen in this stance. Like for some reason he was able to, just call it genetic skill, whatever, and all of that combined. But yeah, when he would drop, like he could generate, sometimes he would come with uppercuts, sometimes it was a hook. And
you couldn't see it a lot. Like you couldn't see it just because the trunks were baggy, but he has fucking tree trunk legs, and there's a reason for that. Is the base and the power is all coming from that, and that's when.
Look at his fucking neck.
Yeah, dude.
What neck? He was. I just, every time I look at him, I'm thinking to myself, if I was his opponent, I'm thinking, okay, I've got to get in on this guy. Like I've got to get, and there's just nothing to hit. He has no neck. His shoulders are up. He's peeking over his gloves. Where do you hit him?
Tyson's looking at you. Over? He's looking at you, and he's like,
"I bet that tastes good."
Well, okay, so speaking of that, I saw something where someone asked him about the
women weaken legs.
Yeah, and it's like, do you lay off of sex with a fight coming up? And he's like, no, I want to get it off my mind. Like I don't want to go in the ring and be thinking about sex, have pussy on the brain,
Yeah,
it's pussalia, right?
Hey, it's right though. So
he's got a point.
That's
you
a
got
good point.
anything else on that fighting style?
Basically, like what you talked about was the footwork. I mean, like, it's often like if you watch his footwork again, when you see the clips, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about here. Like, there's a lot of bobbing and weaving, and he's all his eye. The whole thing is like him count. You'll see people swinging, throwing combinations at him. Sometimes they'll glance off of him, right? Or they'll minorly connect, but like that's okay because he'll take a little damage to deliver a knockout punch, and it's like a work of art seeing these punches that he lands. It's just nuts. So there's a lot of footwork and all of this together, and Cuss taught him, was a big proponent of this style, but Mike elevated it to a level
never
probably
seen before.
Never seen, and we probably never will see it.
No.
He was just genetically built for this fighting style, and he uses this very day. There's 55-year-old Mike Tyson videos where he's showing people how to do it, and he's doing exactly. Still, there's a lot of head movement, and he's sitting there coming back and forth. And when someone throws a straight punch, like he'll slip and come to the side, and he's just like bam, bam, and it just looks.
That's part of the reason he could generate so much power is his build. He's compact. He's got short arms. I know a little something about that. So you don't have to extend so far. Like,
that's true.
I mean, the
downside is you got to get in.
Yeah, closing the distance, but that works with that style. I mean,
that's exactly. So that's why I can imagine. Obviously, I can't get into Cuss's head, but I can imagine Mike Tyson being so small, so short, and so powerful. He thought, how can I get Mike Tyson in to do the damage that I know he's capable of? And honestly, can you think of a better style than ultimate tight defense, so he can survive to get close enough to just annihilate his opponents? And that's exactly what he did with lethal accuracy.
So to Cuss use different styles with the different fighters, I guess. Because did Floyd use that?
I think Floyd is more of like a lanky fighter, though. I haven't really watched a lot of Floyd's fights, though.
He was a big proponent of this style, but I think he would tailor all of his fighters. He would tailor the style to their body type, and I think this was something that was made specifically for Mike Tyson, or was pushed by him. But Cuss became sort of kind of famous for that because people were trying to figure out how is, like, other people watched this, like, how is Mike Tyson doing this? Like, and and so people were watching him and studying it. But again, it's really tough. Like, how do you beat this? That was obviously how many fights did he have before he lost? Like, look at this.
30 something.
30 fights before, and people had just, I mean, you didn't even know before. I guess Buster Douglas in the 38th fight was his first loss, like, ever, which was like shocking because, like, how do you beat this just literal tank?
Yeah.
It's nuts.
See, like, when he got, so we'll start to get into some clips here in a second, but I do want to mention that Cuss, to Shattuck's point, when he's talking about Mick and where Cuss in that one interview is basically like the reason that he's alive is Mike Tyson, because Cuss said he believes, like, when someone no longer wants to live, they'll stop living. Like, that was his philosophy. And then, like, Cuss got sick shortly after that. I believe passed away in 85 or 86.
85.
Yeah.
So, which upon further research, I thought that was when, like, all the bullshit and stuff started happening. But the guy that actually took over for him, Jim Jacobs.
Jim Jacobs.
So they were pretty close. And so Jim was doing a really good job, but then Jim passes away in 88 to set the stage for
him to be thrown to the
He was, I think Tyson was fighting in Tokyo, right?
Yeah, that's where he fought Buster Douglas.
Well, yeah, but this was before Buster Douglas. Okay. He was fighting in Tokyo, came back, and he actually got the news from someone that we're not going to give very much attention to, but Robin Givens. He didn't even know that Jim was sick, and in true, cunt fashion, she just, like, laid it out. Oh,
can you please put disappointed fucking Cosby right here, right now? Like,
yeah, man, god damn. So before we, I'll go ahead and start queuing up clips or whatever, but Cuss has, I believe it's on his tombstone, the a boy comes to me with a spark of interest. I feed the spark, it becomes a flame. I feed the flame, it becomes a fire. I feed the fire, it becomes a roaring blaze. And that's on his headstone, I think, on his grave, which is a pretty cool quote. That's something, I guess, like he always would say to Tyson, and But I've got queued up here his first fight, his first professional fight. So we'll go ahead and watch this one. And to Shadwick's point here, if you can see body shots after body shots.
This is not a fight, ladies and gentlemen. This is an assault. This is an actual assault.
I mean, just chopping down a tree.
That's all. Well, I mean, and he was just bringing them back too.
I want to focus more right there on the opponent for just 1 second. Like, I want to focus on, okay, when was the last time a fight that you saw a fighter that all he could do was just try to protect himself from the pain?
Well, his name was Hector Mercedes. And as you can see, I'm on Wikipedia right now because Wikipedia refuses to have a fucking dark version of this. So here we are.
Faces are bright. Yeah.
So
my prediction: pain.
First round, 147 in, and that was all it took for Hector Mercedes to go night. And they stopped it.
All right, you're on Wikipedia. Yes. What year did he fight Michael Spinks?
Actually, I have that clip because that was one of the fights me and my dad watched together. Yep. It was in 88, June of 88. Tony Tubbs was the one in Tokyo, I believe, and that's the one where he came back after he found out Jacobs died.
There was one that was
with Sugar Cunterton.
There was one.
Why?
Stand by it.
Wasn't his name Cunningham?
Put that on a shirt. Sugar Cunterton. Get us a basketball jersey.
Sugar Cunterton. So what other disgusting murders do you have?
I have this one, and the reason I have this one queued up, this is the first fight after Custom Auto passed. So this is against Richardson. Which, by the way, I'll put the full link to this YouTube video in our description. The person.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Wait, there's more.
I'm
this
fine.
one's a screamer.
Look at him just getting in. What do you do against that, man? What do you do?
And this guy's got such a reach advantage.
He's huge.
Like,
he's got a foot on Tyson minimum. But look, see,
chop that fucking tree down, baby,
dude.
God, that dude said nah. This is something he would do often. He would help the guys up after the fight.
It's like, hey, you okay? You all right? I'm fine. Just knocked your block off, dude. Dude.
And he would
notice. Yeah, notice how he just drove towards him. Like, he just pushes in, and the guy, as soon as he dropped his guard and started backing up, and any mistake, any hole, any opening, Tyson just bam, instantaneously.
Yeah, guys they always talk about
that was later. That was later on in his life. Just any hole, just bam.
Hey, speaking of that, he just goes, shit stuck in my head this week.
Starting to notice the girls, huh? Let me ask you something. You jacking off yet? Because if you are, it's weird. Nobody does it. You're the only one.
You're the only one. Shout out Mike Tyson Mystery.
Why is that actually? Yeah, for those of you who don't know, that's Mike. That's the clip from Mike Tyson's Mysteries. Look it up. It's a cartoon in the same vein of Scooby-Doo, but probably one of the greatest things ever made.
So
it's got
good.
Our comedic hero Norm Macdonald. Mike Tyson's actually in it.
Yeah,
the main character technically.
So fucking good, man. So let's go through these fights real quick. So I've got we'll cue up the Burbot clip in a second, but me and Chadwick, we kind of talked about this early on. Like, Tyson, he fought March 6th. This is all in '85. March 6th, March 10th, May 23rd, June 20th, July 11th, July 19th, August 15th, September 5th, October 9th, October 25th. November 1st, November 13th, November 22nd, 3 fucking fights in November. December 6th, December 27th. That's fucking nuts.
I just want to
15 fights in a year.
He said that he wasn't really making any money for those. It was all about Cuss trying to get him exposure.
Well, and he did, and it worked because, I mean, he was, a year or two into his career before he got the first title shot. But, I mean, the resume is like fucking disgusting. It's
he fought
TKO,
John.
TKO, KO, TKO, TKO, KO, 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 TKO,
He
KO,
fought-
TKO.
He fought John Alderson, and then 8 days later fought Larry Sims and just knocked his ass out. Barely a week later,
Like,
dude.
that's fucking wild, man.
And what was it? A total of 3 minutes, maybe?
Yeah. Of all the
Yes.
fights. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the first two go one round. You got one that goes 4. First round knockout, second round knockout, third round knockout, first round, second round, first round, first round.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Like these people were they had
These
no
are
business
professional
being in the
fucking
same
fighters.
ring.
Like these are professional ass fighters.
with
man.
records and rap sheets, and
The
he just
reason-
is murking these guys.
The reason I was thinking there was one fight in Atlanta was because I remember my dad talking about us possibly going to one of the fights.
Yeah.
Maybe was it
Maybe
Memphis?
the Memphis one. Yeah, there's a couple in Memphis when they had that pyramid.
But I remember whatever fight it was, we ended up not going, but we watched it, and I think it was 38 seconds he knocked the dude out.
Yep.
And my dad's like, I'm so glad we didn't pay that much to go see that.
To go see it.
When they went to pay-per-view, I guess he must have been champion at that point.
It was HBO exclusive for a while, or ESPN,
Yeah.
and then all his fights were HBO, and then the big ones started doing pay-per-view.
So I don't know if you guys remember these. They were like cable boxes.
Yep.
And they had these little cards, right? And you could get these cards programmed so they would be unrestricted.
It's called stealing, Shadwick.
I didn't do it.
Was it Shadwick was a child, dude, who's innocent.
Yeah.
Shaddy, no.
So my dad would get these cards, right? And he would get 2 at a time, because when there was a big pay-per-view fight, it would let you watch all of the undercards, and then like as the main event fighters are walking to the ring, they would like scramble.
Yeah, they'd send like a shock through there that would like kill whatever that card was.
Yeah, so
that's smart as shit of him, though. Good job,
dude. It is.
Well,
done.
we got burned once or twice, you know. And then he started.
He said, "Fool me once."
He wised up. So that was actually another little memory that I have. That was my job. Like once it was scrambled, I would
get up there. What the fuck? Yeah, dude. That's awesome. So, one last thing I wanted to say about Cuss that's pretty funny, and kind of shows the type of person Cuss was. When he's dying, and Tyson's like 19, and Tyson's like, I don't want to box anymore. Like, I'm done. And Cuss was like, if you quit boxing, I'll come back and haunt you.
Yeah.
So I was like, respect, man. And with that, let's take it over to one of our favorite fights, Mr. Trevor Berbick.
I need more alcohol for this, dude. Poor Trevor.
I want everybody to focus on the face, and I'll freeze it and put it on here. But
this is important, because this is a really important fight.
This is when he got his heavyweight title, right?
This is the heavyweight title fight. The goal already.
This is the WBC one. So there's 3 heavyweight titles that he united.
Just look at him looking for a place to fall, dude.
Look at Berbick, though. That is a monster fucking human being.
Yeah, he's massive. Massive.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, here you go. This is me later on tonight.
Are you going to get up? Are you getting up? Hey, are you getting up?
Yeah. That's Chris. That's Chris later on tonight.
Yeah, right there, Trevor Berbick to the ref was like, change the channel. This fight is bullshit. No clue where he was.
There he was.
I didn't want salmon.
I said it 4 times.
Said it 4 times. Dude, he was out on his feet, man. And that was all pride. And Chris and I talked about this last night or the other night, dude. It was like you see a lot of fighters in the ring with him. If you just go to YouTube, you can Google. There's 50,000 Tyson
if you can,
knockout reels.
Their knockout reels are nice, and that's basically what we're doing tonight. Watch the whole fight.
Yeah. Do you have any clips of his elusiveness?
I don't think so. These were mainly just knockouts, but I will put some in here of just him like ducking dudes or whatever. Actually, one of these may have it in here, but here's the one, the Muhammad Ali fight that we had referenced. And so this is against Larry Holmes. So this is what's great about this one is Ali was like a special ring announcer or something, or a special like timekeeper or whatever for this fight. And he came over to Tyson and he's like, "You gonna get him for me?" or something to that effect. And Tyson's like, "Yep." And what ensued was this.
Oh man, they're all so tough before they get punched.
Damn.
Hold up, I'm back, dude. I'm back, dude. God, dude.
So that's the second. So yeah,
he glanced him. All right, I'm back. I'm back, dude.
Mike Tyson pushes
he hit him in the temple. Dude.
The guy says he starts the beating again. Jesus Christ. And Holmes is...
Oh, my God, dude. Yeah. Somebody...
And he looks over to Ollie and says, there you
go. How about the ref sitting on his chest there?
Yeah. Well, he's trying to get his mouthpiece out. You could see also
while suffocating him with his balls.
One of the other ones that I noticed.
Get this mouthpiece out so I can teabag you.
A lot of guys. I mean, if you guys have ever either played sports or played music live on stage, anything like Shadwick bodybuilding, anything that's like a performance, you get this adrenaline dump. A lot of times your mouth goes dry. It's like you're like it's this fucking rush. But it drains you. And you'll see a lot of these guys that are professional fucking fighters fighting Mike Tyson, and their mouthpieces are hanging halfway out because they can't get enough oxygen because they've psyched themselves the fuck out before this thing started. And this is one of those.
Or because you've had your fucking ribs caved in.
Yeah. You no longer have any ribs. So I've got like 2 more clips. The one that I want to show, the second to last, is actually only funny. This was the last one he had before the Buster Douglas fight.
Hold on, I want to say something too. This is a good time to mention, Chris. Like a point you wanted to mention was that some of these knockouts you're watching is like the 6th or 7th round.
Right.
Like these are not like we didn't mention. There's a lot of fights that like went 30
like
seconds
early on in his career, but like that's what, like Leaf is saying, and we've talked about before. All of us, he had a gas tank. And he could go. He's got a unanimous decision 12-rounder in here. He's got a few of them like in back-to-back fashion. Some of these were 6-rounders. Some of these were 7-rounders. He wasn't a, hey, if you go long, like you're gonna fucking beat him. Like that's not how it was.
He would not gas himself out. So that's what's crazy is to watch him knock some of these guys out with a punch that looks like he's fresh in the first 30 seconds
Larry
in the
Holmes
first
was
round.
in the 4th round.
Right. So he had
was
already
throwing
gone
bombs
4 rounds.
3 rounds, and then the 4th round, he's still throwing bombs.
Still knock you out. It looks like it's so painful to watch, man. So painful.
So this one, I've got one more after this, but I want to show this one only because of the In Living Color skit. This is Carl the Truth Williams.
The Truth.
Who Jamie Foxx played Carl the Tooth Williams on In Living Color, which I will try to find a clip and put it in here because that's funny as shit. But this one, he was hollering 187 with his glove in his mouth, fool. I can tell you that much.
And maybe in post you can find the Mitch Green fight. It's pretty fun. It's funny too, watching that big throw bounce around.
Yeah, I do. Me and Leaf talked about it. I wanted when he gets knocked out to freeze it and be like, "Let your soul go."
Dude, that knockout is the funniest fucking thing ever, dude.
So
you guys know the story too about like outside the ring, like Mitch Green
in a bar, right? Like
so Mitch Green, I guess maybe he was kind of connected with some bad folks or whatever. He finds Tyson in a bar. And Tyson, they've already had the fight, right?
Yeah,
Tyson knocked him out.
Tyson's already beat him, and the way I remember it, it's been a while, but Tyson was trying to avoid him. He actually left, and Mitch Green like falls him outside and knocks the side view mirror off of Tyson's Ferrari, maybe.
Yeah, and just to preface, their fight went 10 rounds. It was a unanimous decision, but there was speculation that Mitch Green may have had a little bit of help to go 10 rounds. Of
What do you mean, dude?
Extracurricular substance as far
did
as
he have a little nose candy?
He may have had a little booger sugar.
Booger sugar?
Yeah, but yeah, Shadow, continue the story.
So basically he knocks off the side view mirror of Tyson's Ferrari, which that pisses him off enough to engage with him, and if I remember correctly, he broke his orbital socket.
Bone. Yeah, and then of course Mitch Green sued him. Like, so I believe Leaf just got cock smacked by Tyson and us talking about that. So that's good.
Well, Tyson was thinking about hurting somebody and got
got
hard again.
What does it mean when fighting gets you erect? What does that mean?
You all right? Did it hit you in the back of the head?
Right.
Dude, man, it smacked me right out of the to the fucking to the fourth dimension, dude. Where the hell was I, dude? For a minute, bro. I blacked out, bro.
Did he go body shot, uppercut?
Dude, he went cock shot, uppercut, dude. I was out.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I was out, dude.
He got you with a left cock hook.
Yeah.
I had to actually, bro. I had to actually like log my brain back in, dude.
Rachel had took the flashlight to check his eyes if they're dilated or not, and she's like, "You have a grade 4 cock concussion."
Yeah. She's like, "I've seen this before."
You got a little knot there.
You got there, not to mention that the good new cocksucker. So we'll end on not quite yet, but we'll end on something wholesome. What I do have here in my notes is that after Jim Jacobs took over for Cuss, he also passed away in March of 1988. Then I have Don King in his Marge Simpson hair got his gross, slimy, dishonest, shady butt-fucking hands on Tyson, which I don't think I was descriptive enough to my disdain for fucking Don King.
There was a report, and again, this has been a long time since I heard it, but I think like he was managing all of his money, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he was charging him like $3,000 a week for towels.
Yep, 100%. That's what shady fucking assholes do.
Piece of fucking shit. Is he still alive?
Yes.
Yes, he is.
Where is he?
We should go push him down some stairs. And I can look at him and be like, "Only in America can I push him down the stairs."
I'll be like, touch me and I'll sue. Touch me and I'll sue.
True.
Fuck
so
him, man.
true,
Fuck
dude.
him. So even Tyson to this day, and Tyson's in a good place. Again, we love Tyson, but Tyson is still in like the dude, man. Like, that's millions of fucking dollars that just gone that he'll never see again. Like, because Don King's a swindling asshole.
He admitted,
he wasn't the only one. Tyson married a swindling asshole too.
Now, and the thing with that one is, I was like early on, I'm like, when I was younger and all this is going on, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I think she was on that show Head in the Class. Oh no, that's just how she got her job.
It's like
it was Head of the Class.
It's like Head of the Class, but with blowjobs.
But with blowjobs. So she and her mom apparently, especially like on some of the docs I was watching when Tyson's friends, like childhood friends and shit, are talking about her. Her mom was very much involved in their relationship. So I believe wholeheartedly that fucking thing was set up for their giant ass settlement from the goddamn word go, because she apparently wasn't turning heads too much in her hit TV show Head of the Class, where she was a fucking bit part, whatever.
Yeah, but like after Tyson though, I mean she was in
she was in
yeah, fuck you.
That's right. That's right.
I know that Tyson admitted in the last few fights of his career, which were L's, that a lot of them were like cash decisions.
Yeah, because he had the money. Because he evidently Don King fucking raked him over the coals. She raked him over the coals. Like,
evidently he was $16 million in debt, according to some reports.
Damn, man,
$16 million.
And he was making like, I remember $32 million a fight at one point. Or something
dude,
crazy.
He was the highest paid professional athlete, period, on the planet at the time. Like when he was at his his peak. But
so just one story about that money grubbing bitch. Like,
I mean, look, like this is all allegedly, but also, look, this is us, man. This is us speaking from like how we fucking feel. We weren't there, but everything that I fucking read, and to be honest, we've seen the fucking interviews. We know 1,000 fucking people like her. 1,000 people.
Yes. So he had a money manager before Don King, and Robin and her mom, Ruth the Ruthless, they go to the manager, and from Mike's recount, she was screaming at him, "Give me my fucking money!" And so they call Mike on the phone. The guy explains in detail to him, like, "Look, you've got X amount of money in these certain accounts, and it's drawing enough interest to where if you leave it for another, I think it's like a month and a half, it's going to pay all your taxes for this year."
So he was financially setting Tyson up for success.
So the guy was really looking out for him, but Tyson said, "Man, I was in love," and I said, "Just release the money to him." They were there to get $5 million.
Jesus fucking Christ!
To go buy a mansion that Ruth had picked out in New Jersey for the three of them to move into, because it was a package deal.
Well, of course.
Oh yeah.
Those two vultures.
Well, when you have your mother-in-law move in, what's more romantic and amazing than that?
Nothing's more romantic than that. I tell you this, which is a funny story and I don't fucking remember where I heard it, so grain of salt with this one. So Tyson is going back. They're in the middle of the divorce is about to happen. He's going back. There's this like convertible in the fucking driveway or some shit, and there's this pretty boy in there, and he rolls up on the pretty boy. And this pretty boy's like, shit, like, no, man, I'm sorry. Like, I promise we're just friends. I'm just up here or whatever. That pretty boy was Brad Pitt.
Brad the shit Pitt
was hanging out with Robin Givens.
You gotta be shitting me.
Tyson said, "I didn't know whether to fight him or fuck him."
Yeah. So I think that is like what he said, right? Like in that interview. Yeah. But like, so I heard that story. I said, all right, that's pretty funny. So we'll gloss over all that.
We need to do what we've done, like the Triumph of Tyson. Maybe we need to do like some of the fall on another podcast if anybody wants to see that.
Did you guys know before Robin Givens he was dating Naomi Campbell?
I did not know that.
No,
yeah.
Damn. I didn't know that.
I mean, on
Gosh, she must have been so young too. Like back then,
she was. Yeah,
like fresh.
So he was
model
20 and I know she was still a teenager.
Yeah.
But he said that he was dating her and several other women, like right up to the point where he got with Robin, and
she fucking rocked those mental games, man.
Yep.
But so let's end on something positive. And I think that Shadwick and me share this one. The memory we have is the Michael Spinks fight.
Atlantic City.
This would have been June 27th, 1988. Me and my family, I think we're going to Florida or somewhere like for the spring break or for summer break or some shit. And the hotel we stayed at on the way down there had HBO or whatever channel this was on. So I remember Dad being stoked that we could actually watch the Tyson fight. And more importantly, that Dad didn't have to pay for it. So
amazing.
So we sit down and watch this. Sadek, will you set up your story for that too? So do you remember something similar?
Yeah. So I remember, these main cards were always late at night, right?
Yeah.
So my dad, he would have it on in his bedroom. He would lay in bed, and Mom, she'd be in there, but usually she was reading a book or something. And I had like the same little place on the floor I'd always sit. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, that's good memories for me.
And so
actually, I was talking to Dad the other day about that, and Tyson Fury is going to fight in February. We're going to get together for that one.
That's awesome, man. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, so here it is. I think in its entirety.
Yeah, I was going to say you should just play the entire fight.
Do we have time for this? Is there time to play the whole fight? Like, that's a lot of guys.
Yeah.
traditional champion.
Well, remember, they're just 3-minute rounds.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah.
Like, okay. God. It's like,
and snakes.
So I don't know if you guys remember, but Spinks had he was a champion before, and he had relinquished his title because he did take part in was it a unification?
Yeah, it's something that, like, I don't remember where, because Tyson at this point in time had WBA, WBC, and IBF. He had them all at this point in time, because he won the WBA from James Smith, and then he won the IBF from Tony Tucker. So before those fights was what you're talking about happened, where Michael Spinks, something happened. Don't really remember, but yeah, he relinquished it or whatever. So this was like supposed to be, okay, here we go. Like, this guy's got a shot. No, this guy's actually going to give Tyson a run for his money. You know, this is a championship fighter that went, I think, what did it say? A minute 24? No, minute 31. Sorry, didn't give the guys enough credit. So 1 minute 31 seconds. Good night, fucking nurse.
Jeez, dude.
He's proud of the seconds.
Yeah, I'm proud of those fucking units. So we'll wrap up there right before the controversy and all that stuff, because again, like us as adults, like I said, this is a little different, where we've gone back and we started looking at this stuff and being like just appreciating it as adults, because again, like me and Chadwick and Leaf probably too, like we have like little moments here and there where you talk to your dad about sports, or you know, you have a memorable interaction or something like that. But like when we went back and started watching it, it's just like, there's just something special about this guy. There just is.
Yeah.
And it's
magic.
And to be honest, boxing essentially is dead at this point.
Final.
It's final.
Doctor said I need a backiotomy.
But it's boxing's pretty much dead at this point. Like, I mean, you got a couple of guys left. MMA's kind of started to take over a little bit, but I still don't think nothing was ever the fever pitch of this, like that we've seen to this date, that was like this guy just running through dudes. And to be honest, like the only person that could stop him was himself, because like no one else was doing it, man. Like,
yeah, if we don't cover the controversy, that's all. What Chris said is all you need to know. Is that a good portion of like what happened to him, like all the negativity came from a darker place. They just sort of resided and kind of came out like slowly but surely after Cuss and all of his main trainers sort of let him loose.
Did he ever regain the championship?
Yes.
Who did he win that back from?
He won the HBC title from Frank Bruno. Then he won the WBC title from Frank Bruno, WBA title from Bruce Selden. And then he lost. Then the Evander Holyfield stuff started. So, and then I don't believe the Lennox Lewis was going to be like he could have unified all the titles again against Lennox Lewis, and then that one didn't work out. But to leave on a positive note, let's go ahead and go over to. You didn't know.
You didn't know.
Yeah.
So for this little segment, man. Do you guys have a favorite knockout of Tyson? Because, like, I mean, I know you know where I'm going. And it's because it's been completely infamous with our group of friends. I took a screenshot of the Trevor Berbick face when he's getting up and he's like, and it would be like me later on tonight after 3 beers or something to that effect or whatever. I think that one's my favorite too, because that's him fulfilling the Cuss prophecy.
Yeah.
Like of him being the youngest heavyweight champion of all time. So do you guys have a favorite knockout or a favorite moment maybe?
Man, dude. The one you were gonna clip with the soul glow like jump, dude. Like that was my favorite knockout, man. Like that was the best one. He knocked that guy's tooth out, like through the mouth guard. Like that is nuts right there. That is nuts. That was my favorite knockout by far. Trevor Berbick was second because
mine. Man, I don't know the names. It was before he was the champion. So
Yeah.
it was in that string of fights in '85. It was. I'll go back to it again. Just him dodging punches and this wreaking havoc. Like,
Yeah.
I wish I could remember which one it is. Like I said, it's an early fight, but they're right on the ropes. This dude is just like throwing I think 3 or 4 punches, and he's like
he dodged every one of them, right?
Dodging every one of them, and then just
counter punch.
Just clocks, dude.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I'll clip it in here, but that's
Those fights were insane. I need to go back and watch all of those, although it won't take long. Most of them to see a bunch of
40 minutes, and that's with some dressing.
Some of the highlights are all the fight was insanely enough to say.
So anyway, if you haven't, go look up any of these fights. Go look them up. They're all on YouTube or they're somewhere. Anything under Kid Dynamite is fucking amazing. So just want to say, Mr. Iron Mike, Mr. Kid Dynamite, Mr. Baddest Man on the Planet, Be Kind, Let's Rewind loves you. Big, huge fans. So, and with that, guys, let's go ahead and take it over to our Norm Macdonald clip of the week.
I want to read the last joke.
You're going to read it, and you see, you don't. We as white people can say that, but you can say the real thing.
Okay, good.
You know what the real thing is, right?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of words that start with that letter. But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, let's hear this joke.
Researchers in Russia say that the dolphins have a distant spoken language of their own.
You're saying that dolphins have a distinct language all their own?
Yes.
Huh.
What's the solution? What's the solution that they use the N-word? Ooh, that they use the N-word constantly.
No, what word do they use?
Nigga word, N-word.
Oh, yeah. What'd you call it?
Dolphin.
The what word?
Nigga. Nigga, ninja.
Word, yeah.
Say it. I want to hear you say that word.
I don't want to say it because then it'll be on tape forever. I say it in my private life many times.
Say it, hunky. Say it, hunky. Say nigga, hunky. Fucking say it, hunky.
Listen, am I wrong or am I imagining that?
No, say nigga, hunky. Say it, hunky. Come on, cracker.
Mike, I have to ask you a question.
Say it.
I can't say it. Make him say it. Mike, make Adam Egan say it, Mike. God damn. These crazy fists are like inches from my face.
I'm sorry.
It's Mike
I'm just
Tyson.
playing, guys. I'm just playing.
I know, but you're
This is
playing
Hollywood
with
shit.
You're playing with your registered weapons of your fists.
It's Hollywood. I'm playing.
Yes, 1, 2, 3.
Just let your soul glow. Just let it shine through. Just let your soul, baby, feel it.